welcome to Module 7, Private Pilot License, PPL, training process of our aviation series. Today, we are going to walk through the exact roadmap to obtaining your private pilot license or PPL. This is the definitive guide to your first major milestone in aviation, where we move beyond introductory flights and into the structured process of becoming a certified pilot. So, why is the PPL considered the gold standard for personal aviation? Unlike more restrictive certificates, the PPL unlocks the sky for you. You can carry as many passengers as the aircraft allows, legally taking friends and family on trips. You have the freedom of unrestricted domestic flight across the country, and significantly, you gain the privilege of night operations, allowing you to fly under visual flight rules long after the sun goes down. The journey to becoming a pilot follows two parallel tracks that eventually converge. Think of it as cognitive mastery versus kinetic mastery. On one hand, you have ground knowledge, the theoretical foundation of how planes fly and the rules they follow. On the other, you have flight proficiency, translating that theory into muscle memory in the cockpit. To reach the ultimate goal, the check ride, these two tracks must progress simultaneously to satisfy FAA requirements. Let's look closer at that theoretical foundation. Ground school covers 4 critical pillars. First, aerodynamics and aircraft systems, which teaches you how lift is generated and how your engine works. Second, meteorology, which is vital for making safe go or no-go decisions based on weather reports. Third, FAA regulations, which act as the rules of the road for the sky. And finally, navigation, where you'll learn to plot courses and calculate fuel burn using both traditional charts and modern radio tools. When it comes to the actual flying, your logbook will record 2 types of time: dual instruction, where you're learning maneuvers with a certified instructor, and solo flight, where you are the sole occupant of the aircraft. While the FAA sets minimum hour requirements for both, it's important to remember that progress is based on proficiency. You move forward when you've mastered the skill, not just when you've checked a box on the clock. The most memorable moment for any pilot is the first solo. This is the transition point where you become the pilot in command. After your instructor is confident in your takeoffs, landings, and emergency procedures, they will literally step out of the plane. You will complete 3 full-stop landings on your own. Passing this milestone gives you the legal endorsement to fly solo within specific weather limits defined by your instructor. Once you've mastered the local area, we expand your spatial awareness ring through cross-country training. In the eyes of the FAA, a cross-country flight means landing at an airport more than 50 nautical miles away from where you started. This is where you apply everything: dead reckoning, radio communication, and real-time weather evaluation. You'll practice these routes first with your instructor before eventually tackling them solo. To cross the finish line, you must pass 2 distinct FAA evaluations. First is the written exam, a computer-based test focused on your ground school knowledge. Once that's passed and your flight hours are complete, you face the check ride or practical exam. This is conducted by an FAA-designated pilot examiner and shifts the focus from what you know to how you actually perform and make decisions in real time. The check ride itself is a 2-part challenge. It begins with the oral exam, a scenario-based discussion lasting an hour or 2, where the examiner ensures you truly understand the why behind aviation. If you pass the oral portion, you move to the flight portion, demonstrating maneuvers and emergency procedures in the air. The reward for success is immediate. The examiner will issue your temporary private pilot certificate right there on the spot. The diagram illustrates the integrated flight plan. You'll notice how ground school milestones, like the written exam, overlap with flight milestones like your first solo. The biggest takeaway here is efficiency. Don't wait to finish all your books before you start flying. By weaving these 2 tracks together, the theory you learn in the morning becomes the practice you apply in the cockpit that afternoon. Ready to start? Your immediate next steps are simple. First, get your FAA medical certificate to ensure you're physically cleared to fly. Second, pick a ground school curriculum to start building your knowledge base. And third, Schedule an introductory flight at a local school to start your logbook. The sky is waiting. It's time to take that first step.
Dreaming of flying across the world? Not just India, but Paris, London, Dubai. An EASA license is your passport to global skies. Recognized in 31 countries and accepted by airlines worldwide. Train in Europe with modern aircraft, multicultural exposure, and the world's highest safety standards. And yes, you can always convert back to DGCA if you choose to return. Confused about costs, universities, or visa process? We're here to help for free. Hurry! Click the link below to register for your free one-on-one consultation today. Limited seats available. Your global cockpit awaits. Worldwide.